Hi guys, this is Niecy Black here. I have got my setup in my office, so if you bear with me, guess what I did again? I have my setup with my iPad over here and my iPhone over here, so I'm multitasking, doing my scopes, and as part of my Facebook Live community. And I wanted to touch bases on you. You know, I was at the Paracon 16 conference in Atlanta last week, and Archon was there. Archon is the maker of some really great products to help you stream, live streaming. And one of the things that he had on there was this dual purpose stand that you could actually connect your iPad to and connect your iPhone to and sit side by side, and then you don't have to rig all these different gadgets like what I'm doing here. So I think this might work over here. So I'm gonna give everybody a couple minutes to join me, and then we'll get started. So I hope everyone is having a great day. Okay, Periscope, I'm sorry guys. This is Periscope over here. I'm trying to adjust my iPad so that it's not cutting off the top of my head. So I think that might be better. But hey, I'm here in Oklahoma City, and we had some really torrential storm come through last night. A lot of people were affected with damage to their homes, so be in prayer for them, and that everything is okay for them today. So it is 11:02. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. For you guys that are joining me live, thank you for taking time out of your day to spend and share with me. If you're listening to the replay, I appreciate you as well. Thank you for joining my Wednesday midweek motivation and mind check. I come along every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And it's just some thoughts, ideas, suggestions to help you get through your day. If you're having a challenging day, if you have not... Okay, see, I should have done this before I started, but this is bothering me. If you started your day strong and productive, and then some place along this week you've gotten off course with your goals, then this conversation is to kind of help you show back up, get back in the swing of things, get your momentum back, get your excitement back, and progress forward through the rest of your week with a positive attitude, a positive mindset, so that you can achieve the things that you want. So today is going to be a little bit about kind of stemming from what we talked about last week with mind games, the mind games that people will play with you sometimes, the attitude that you may have in relationships, and how to guard your heart. So that's what we're talking about today. And I'm not really going to fuss. I'm just going to make some observations based on my experience and working in and out of corporate America, working with different clients and different platforms, speaking and meeting people from across the country, and just some things that came to mind. So what I wanted to first share with, when it comes to guarding your heart, we have a responsibility for our own happiness. We have a responsibility to do the things that are necessary for us to be happy, to be safe, to be comfortable, to live life to the fullest. That responsibility does not lie in your job, your parents, your upbringing, or nothing. When you become an adult, you become responsible for your own purpose. Hello, how you doing? So a lot of times we release that responsibility because we have gained a victim's mentality about how we live, and we expect people to do things for us, so we're feeding off of the mercy of others. And that is something that is near and dear to my heart, because I was an enabler. And I also was on the other side of the coin where at a time in my life when I had this victim's mentality and I expected people to automatically understand and automatically rescue me and automatically sympathize with me and automatically do all of these things that they were not responsible for doing. So I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with myself. And what that means is I just had to check myself and check my attitude and recognize that it is my responsibility to live my life with what I have been given, right? The tools, the skills, the talents that I have been given, and do the best that I can with that. So I had a session this past week with a coach that deals with Strength Finders. If you're not familiar with what Strength Finders is, it's an assessment that you go through and you gauge the your strengths and talents. It's not based on your personality, it's based on your talents, and finding where you are strongest and then some areas where you can actually improve in. And one of my number one, I took this assessment back in August of 2015, and I just connected with her a few weeks ago as part of our mastermind group. And so I had the information, I just didn't spend the time to go through and analyze it. One of my top, or the number one talents that I have, is associated with relator. And that is a person who enjoys and finds value in having deep connections and deep relationships with people. And that was really spot on because that's how I am. So as a result of understanding that that is a strength or a talent that I have, I like to cultivate strong, meaningful relationships. And I have the tendency and the capacity to develop deep relationships. So if I create a friend and we get together and I bring you into my core circle, we can be friends for life. The same holds true if I bring someone into my deep, intimate circle and I'm disappointed, then we may still be friends, but they're a little bit on the outside of that circle. So one of the downsides to that is that I am quick to dismiss people. Isn't that horrible? And what I mean by dismiss is not dismiss the value that someone brings, but I'm so used to having people that are close that I can depend on. And if it's something that I'm working on that's dear to my heart and I do it myself, I want to do it myself because I try to be a perfectionist. That's one of the things that I'm still working on because I'm focusing on my top 5 right now. But as a relator, if I try to do something myself and someone says, okay, I can handle that for you or let me in, then I'm more inclined to let them do that if, I have a close, intimate relationship with. But if I don't, then I have a tendency to dismiss the value that they could provide for me. And I'm doing myself a disservice. That's my issue. It's not their issue. Nothing wrong with them at all. It is my issue. Because I want to get to know people on a deep and intimate level. And a lot of times that's not possible. So what I am learning to do is cultivate that talent so that I can use it to better myself, so that I can use it to embrace everybody's value, everybody's talent, and so that we can benefit from it mutually. You can benefit from what I have to offer, and I can benefit from what you have to offer. And we may never, ever be core, intimate tub buddies, but we bring a value to each other's life that we both can benefit from. So the purpose of my message to guard your heart means that sometimes when we are in close relationships with people, whether relator is your number one or not, and I really highly suggest that you go take that assessment. It'll bring a whole other meaning to your strengths and your talents. Strength Finders. I want to say it's strengthfinders.com, but check with me later, either in the Facebook community. I can share more details with you on that. But my whole point is, as a relator, I really have to do my due diligence in guarding my heart and guarding my space, because I may come across as some people got it together. I'm hardcore. I'm really bossy. I'm all of that. And sometimes I am. But on the inside of me, where my intimate space is a very delicate and private space. And if I allow you into that space and you do something to damage that trust, then there is a a disconnect that happens. Yes, you're absolutely right. There's a difference between being in a deep relationship with someone and then someone just scouting around because they're nosy about what's going on in your life. And as you learn who you are and what you want and what you're willing to tolerate, you'll be able to discern those people. I'm not suggesting that you be open to any and everything that comes your way, and any and everybody, because not everybody is for you. Not every situation, not every business connection, not every personality is going to gel. And not everybody is deserving of your private space. Not everybody is deserving of your trust. So when I think about guarding your heart, it means to assess people. Look at them for who they are and understand what value they bring. Yes, do all of that. But look at what it is that they're bringing into your personal space. See, I just can't do drama. And I can take hell out there in the streets, but when I come home, I got to have peace in my home. I got to have a solitude in my home. I got to have something in my home that is stable, secure, and firm. And that's where my security is. Does that make sense? So when I'm talking about guard your heart, I'm talking about the opportunities and the times when you are interacting with people. Too guarded with your words. Words are a different thing. You can be select in the words that you share with people. But what I'm talking about is guarding your heart with the space. You know that that saying, and I don't even remember who says it, but the insanity is doing something over and over and over that may not be working, but you're expecting a different are expecting a different and a new result. When you're talking about guarding your heart, you're talking about your intimate, close space. And while you can allow people to come into your space and come into your life, if you have invited people in and they're continuing to disappoint you over and over and over and over again, and then you continue to suck up what it is that they're saying and bringing them closer, that's your issue. You're not guarding your heart. You're not protecting your space. And then you wonder why you're frustrated and why resentment continues to build up. And you wonder why they're not ever going to change. Well, honey, some people are just not going to change. It's not that they're bad people. Maybe they're just not right for you and for that intimate space. You can have them as friends out here. Just think about like this circle here, and you got rings going around it. And see, this is the example that Rhonda used for me when we were doing our session. You got this little bitty space, which is your core, and then you got rings all the way around. Well, people are on those levels of rings. So where you might not be in my core center, you may be a step out or step out or step out, depending on how you interact with me and how we gel with each other. I can be friends with anybody. I can get along with anybody. It does not matter what their race, creed, color, religion, belief system. It does short, fat. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is my ability to trust you. What matters to me is how close am I going to let you get to me? How close am I going to let you impact my joy? How close am I going to trust your word? How close are we going to be? So I guard this space, and God gives us discernment for a purpose. Whatever your God is for you, because I believe that there's a greater out there. And God, the Trinity is my belief. So when I'm looking at bringing somebody into my space, when I'm looking at bringing somebody into my life, into my world, into where I am the most vulnerable, into the space where I cut me and I bleed. Because this skin is nothing. That's physical pain, but the heart pain, oh my gosh, it takes so much to come back from that. So I guard it like with Roscoe, my 9mm kind of guard. On duty with one of those bayonets type of guard, walking back and forth. You are not getting past these thorns. And it's not that I'm a hard-hearted person, because I really am not. I have a very gentle heart, and I know that I can trust people. There's been a point when I was so trusting and just give them a chance and just give them a chance and just give them a chance. And no matter how many chances I gave them, they still broke my heart. Well, I should have learned. I'm a forgiving person, but I refuse to be insane about the word forgiveness. I know the Bible says forgive how many? 17 times 70 or 70 times 10. I got that. I can forgive you. That's not an issue, but you're not going to be here ever again. You may be out here somewhere, or maybe out here out here somewhere. But that's how it has to be. In this day and time, we can't be so easy to let our guard down. That does not imply that everybody's out to get something, or somebody's always trying to get something for you, but you have to be prepared. You have to take precaution and guard your heart, guard your space, guard your money, guard your home. Ladies, guard your bodies, and men too. Men too, guard your bodies. Everything that you deem valuable in your life and in your space, your energy, guard it, protect it. Your mindset, protect it. And don't be so willing to give people a second and third and fourth and fifth chance over and over and over. So, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. Hey, Terrell, darling. As the old folks say, you handle them with a long-handled wooden spoon. A long-handled spoon. And you know what? I believe one of the gifts I have is being able to welcome people into my space and make them feel like they're the greatest thing since red beans and cornbread. One of my favorite dishes. But they still not be in my heart space. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm totally okay with that. I know that I am not in everybody else's heart space, because I know everything is not always about me. And I'm cool with that. I am so cool with it. But I want you to understand, you cannot hitch your wagon to everybody's horse and buggy. Be selective. Be selective. Whether you are growing your life, whether you are growing your business, whether you're just now starting to date, it can be scary out there. You got to be wise in what you do. You got to be wise in the quality of people that you let into your circle. Test them. Test them. Yes, I said test them. Because I expect it to be tested. If I say and give you my word that I'm going to do thus and so, I'm going to do thus and so. I'm not all about flapping my gums. And I don't do lip service. If I commit, then dagnabbit, I'm committed. If I can't and I really want to, then I'm going to try to make a way for it. I may not always be able to, but I'm going to make that effort. That's what character is about, integrity is about, and that's how you learn to trust people so that you can move them from that outer circle into your inner circle, into your heart space. You know, that kind of thing. Now, during our session, the Strength Finder session, talking about my top 5 talents and strength, and we was talking about my core and the vulnerability that we experience in that core. A lot of times what we have gone through in our life has shaped why that core is either this big, or it's this big. So I had to look at my history to see I don't have to, I can tell you exactly why my core is so small. It's because of the things that I've gone through in my life that has put up this guard for me, for my heart. And there's very few people that can penetrate that. For a long time, I was searching, trying to find people that were right for me or cliquish for me. And in my quest to do that and to find that, I screwed up royally. Royally. Let people in my heart space that did not deserve to be there. That did not deserve to be there. So it was a lesson learned. But you know what? Had I not done that, had I not gone through that, and I don't beat myself up over that anymore. Had I not gone through that, I would not be able to discern whether or not people could be there, whether or not they were valuable enough and brought enough to me where I could trust them in my heart space. So there may be some areas in your life, in your upbringing, in your environment, in your history, throughout your journey, throughout your story, that has caused you to put a lock and key around your core. I'm not saying open it up and take the lock off. What I'm saying is assess it. Look at it. Understand why it is so. It doesn't mean that it's a good thing. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It is what it is. You are who you are. And there is nothing wrong with who you are. Understand why it is that way. Why you do the things that you do. And that'll help you determine whether or not you can give people a second or a third or fourth chance, or however many chances you are comfortable with. You have to be comfortable with it. You have to be comfortable with it. Nobody can tell you otherwise. So I've done that. And I'm good with me. I am oh so good with me. I love me some me. And can't nobody beat me loving me. I want you to love you. And understand who you are. And understand how you think. And how you process information. And how you deal with relationships. It's all a part of being authentic and unapologetic, guarding your heart and being okay with the few people that you have in that space, and being okay with the few people that are a little bit outside of that core, and being okay that the other people here, you don't have to give anybody an apology because they feel like they are way out here on your circle and they want to be up here, but they're out here. Don't take on that pressure. Move people into your space as you see fit and as you deem necessary and as you want them. You may not want them there, and that's totally okay. But make sure that you vet them. Vet anybody that you're going to allow come into your heart space, into your circle, right? Do that. It is so necessarily important. So I'm looking at Periscope. My screen looks so yellow, but it looks so nice and clear on my phone. I don't know what's up with my iPad. Guys, I appreciate your time. If you are not in the Facebook community, Align Your Life, ALIGN Your Life, LYFE.com. Connect in the community for more tips and conversations and trainings. If you are just now tuning in, I should have reintroduced myself. I'm Nisi Black. I'm a lifestyle and career catalyst. My target audience is women. I support women in their personal development by helping them gain clarity for their life, helping them clear out some of that old dead stuff, garner the courage, build their self-esteem so you can go out and do whatever it is you want to do in the world. Whatever it is that you want to do, you decide. I want you to do it your way, your style, right? So that's what I'm about. And I love life. I'm having a good time. So it's about what? 11:24. I tell you what, I'm hoping to have my next little stand from Archon. Shout out to Aaron with Archon Mounts. Hey, Aaron, I need to get with you to get my little thing. So I'll probably get that done today. But I am so excited. Life is good. God is amazing. I am blessed. I want you to have a phenomenal day. And people that are in the group, if you're not in Periscope, follow me in Periscope, Nisi Black, at Nisi Black, and give me some hearts and stuff while you're there, and share, swipe and share. And I'm also on Twitter. I have really been enjoying Twitter a lot lately, a lot lately, ever since Paracon, actually ever since Epicon that we had here in Oklahoma City back right at the end of March, first part of April. Oh man, I love Twitter. I can hashtag with the best of them now. So I'm working on being as effective as I can along the platforms that I come in contact with. So it has been my pleasure to chit chat with you today, and go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day, but guard your heart, keep your mind clear, speak positively into your life, and affect change. Be the change that you want to see in your own life and in the lives of others and in this world. Okay? Y'all have a good day, and I'll check with you later.